welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's always a pleasure to have you here. So I know it's been a while. I've been having some throat problems. Yeah, but I'm under medication, which means that it will be fine in the next few days. At least I'm hopeful. So in the meantime, I hope you have been keeping well, staying at home if you have to, protecting yourself, because it's important you do that. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. You're more than welcome. This is the place to be. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is your chance to do so. So hit the button down below, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share this video out there. So today, as I promised earlier, I will be sharing the story on my daughter's first trip to Dubai and the next trips, or the trips that followed after that. So if I remember correctly, my daughters traveled to Dubai for the first time in 2016. It could be like the end of November or beginning of January. End of November or beginning of December, early December, I mean. So excited. This time I was working for Denata. I just joined the Emirates group, and so you guessed right, the tickets were fair. It wasn't hard for me to actually do the processing, like the visa, the tickets. So the moment I knew I could do that, I went for it. I applied for the visas, and I did not even just apply for the visas for the kids, my daughters only. I applied for my mom's visa and ticket as well, which means I had 3 visitors for Christmas that year. So during this time, I lived with my sister, my younger sister. Oh, there's 2 of us only in the family. I'm the eldest. My sister is the last born, or the youngest. So she had moved to Dubai, over a period of time that I was I think she moved here probably 1 year before I joined Emirates Group or something like that. So yeah, we were living together. So imagine a Christmas or a holiday with all of us together. It was just I had not had a holiday like this before. I mean, in a long time. Actually, I would say before, because we had not been together for Christmas, because I had to work during the Christmas period. So this is going to be one of those moments, all of us in the house, just talking, because my family, just let me warn you, if you're ever going to visit us, we could literally wake up in the morning, sit down after breakfast, and chat our whole day through. Chat, laugh, just share stuff. And when I say that, I mean me, my mom, my sister, and my 2 daughters. Well, at least that's how we were. Now, of course, the family has extended because my sister got married, and I also brought someone into the family who we will talk about on the next video. Yeah, I will be sharing that on the next video. So now came the day when we had to go to the airport to pick them up. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. I didn't even know what to think. And knowing my mom, we had not, in my culture, when you're expecting visitors, I mean, I'm sure it's pretty much every other culture, but you cook lots of food, different foods. But when my mom is traveling or coming to you, don't even cook. Just wait for her to get it. Just prepare something small just in case, but wait for her to get there, because my mom brought us food. So we went to the airport and waited for them. I mean, I could not, stand still, because anytime, like, when you're expecting someone at the arrival level or arrival area at the airport, it's always like, could it be? Could So eventually they came out. Oh my God. It was like we had a moment of photos and videos of the airport. I'm telling you, we had a photo session. Well, after that, we headed home, and that time I lived approximately 8 to 10 minutes from the airport, which means that, well, actually, the process, you all know that when you land, it takes time before you go through immigration, baggage collection. So by the time they got out, it was because they arrived at around 10 something, if I'm not wrong. By the time they got out, it was close to midnight, and by the time we got home, it was probably slightly before 1, because we wasted a lot of time taking pictures. So we headed home, warmed up some food, and then sat down just to talk, like, oh my God, you're here, come give me a hug again. And I wasn't going to stay calm. That night, the whole night, I think we stayed up just talking. Eventually, we gave in and slept. Thankfully, I was off for the next few days, so I was able to take them places. And the whole of that month, because they stayed for 1 whole month, we went to so many places. We visited so many places. Like, we went to dinners with my friends. We went to all those places you can think of. I was excited to just show them around, show them where I live and what goes on, And that is also the time they met Fafashi, or my mister, for the first time. Like the time I introduced him to the family. It was actually a very good moment for me, because apart from the fact that they didn't immediately, jump in, with time they got used to the fact that, he was around, and I had prepared them before that, so it wasn't as hard. So after that, we spent a whole month together, but of course sometimes I had to work, and eventually it was the sad moment when they had to fly back home. We had a good time, so we were looking forward to many more, because we knew this was going to be unstoppable. Every time they had a holiday from school, it was going to be Dubai. Come stay with mama. So that one was over, the holiday was over, so we had to wait for many more. But at that time, I couldn't commit myself to bringing them every holiday, which means 3 times a year. So I stuck to bringing them back here once a year, which meant that the next holiday they were going to come here was 2017 December. Of course, I went home in between. I mean, I traveled home maybe 6 times before they came. And then came 2017 December. This time we had moved to a bigger house. There was lots of space, and yes, I actually, which means this actually means I had moved in with Fafashi. So when they came this time, although they knew about it, and when they, I mean, we had flown home a few times with him, you know. So when they came back, there was like, we had a bigger house, there was more space for everyone. It was just the best. You know, we had an exciting time. They stayed again for a whole month. You know, I took them to so many places. We all went to many places together. You know, we did, that's I think the first time we did the desert safari. I have been in this country for like so long, but that was the first time I did the desert safari. So we all went for the desert safari. My mom, I was afraid as well. Because if you've not done the desert safari, you don't know what I'm talking about. So, but my mom, oh my god, I had not told her what the desert safari, you know, was like, but I didn't even know, because I had not experienced it. So we were in this together. But when we got into that, do you know how those cars go? They literally bend like this, and they go down like this. So my mom was actually praying, dear Lord, please. I literally cried from laughing at her. I mean, it was just funny. But so we did the desert safari, we did many other places, the flower gardens, and it was just another exciting holiday. And the good part about that was that I was also on leave. You know, I had my 30 days off from work. So you can imagine, pretty much just lazing around, just, you know, Christmas came. That time they had to fly back, I think on New Year's, slightly before New Year's Eve, because it gets crazy here when it's like people have their flights are full during this period, so we have to be very careful if we don't want the kids to, you know, miss school. And so the next time the kids came by themselves, they've been like doing so by themselves. Maybe I've mixed up the years a little bit, so I'm trying to think. But yeah, so they have been coming. The next time they came by themselves, we stayed for 20 days. And so for me, this has been like a wow, you know, a check on the checklist, being able to facilitate such kind of stuff, you know, it's a blessing. And I feel so privileged and blessed, because initially when I had, I mean, I couldn't do this kind of thing or bring my kids over, I used to wonder how other people do it. I mean, how do they manage it? How blessed God. And I used to pray, God, please, bless me like that too. You know, I want to be able to do that as well someday for my kids. So, it's been a journey up like this. And we're not stopping here, by the way. I still pray for more, and I'm like hoping and trusting God, like, for more, you know, elevate us, because we're not going back there again. No, I choose not to go back there again. So I'd like to dedicate this video, excuse me, I'd like to dedicate this video to my mother, my sister, and most importantly, my daughters. I will not forget also Fafashi and my sister's husband. I mean, that's the family I know, you know. Those are the people who inspire me. They are people who build me or give me the energy to, you know, continue pressing. Yeah. And I would like also to encourage anyone out there who thinks it's impossible. You know, it could be something different, but nothing is impossible. If you put your mind to it, everything is possible and can be done. Yeah. So trying to remember an exciting moment we had with the kids here. It was I think last year, December. We went to one of the fun places here in in the UAE. It's called the Warner Brothers. You guys, the rides, no, but I wanted to be, because with kids you have to be in the moment with them to understand. We had such a great time. We enjoyed ourselves, and for New Year's Eve we went to watch some fireworks, and these family moments that I never thought I would have with my kids, because I couldn't, you know, get leave days during these peak seasons or when they're off from school. And the only time I was able to fly home was like for 2-3 days because I had to return to work. So these moments, you can imagine how meaningful you can imagine you can imagine how meaningful they are to me, you know. I'm probably gonna wind up here for today because I have shared the story about my kids' trips and how they travel for the first time. So actually the kids do travel alone now. Yeah, they travel by themselves. They're older now. They know their way through because Casey is turning like 17 on the 17th of June, and Leslie is turning 13 on the 12th of July. So of course together they're good because Casey is now, you know, mature. Even Leslie is actually very intelligent. She learns stuff so fast, so they're able to be like, my mom takes them to the airport, make sure they go through the check-in process, and then the next whatever, they just walk by themselves, go to the departure gate, and then when they land here, of course I'm waiting for them, but I'm always like, follow the sign for arrivals, you know, follow the signs for arrivals, and then there they are. So it's pretty amazing to have them know how to travel alone. In fact, I was planning like for the next destination, the next holiday that I'm going to take them on, I will fly them from Nairobi and we will meet at the destination. You know, like, I just want them to experience, learn, be independent. This is my motto. You know, it's always very good to make them prepared because no one out there will teach them anything. if you don't, as a parent. So I think I will wind up there for today. And like I said earlier, next time I am going to be talking about how, when, and where I met Fafashi. You better be there, because this is a story you definitely want to listen to. Oh, by the way, looks like now we've come like completely away from the sad times, you know. We are slowly getting on to the happy times now. I mean, have you realized that? Because I have. I find myself like really just being able to share this easily than I had before, you know, because I had to hesitate, think about it, feel the pain afresh. So it feels good to be able to share happy stories now. So from now on, I think we're just gonna have the nice ones. But if I remember something that you need to know, even if it's depressing, I'm still gonna, you know, share it out. So until next time, you'll need to like stay tuned. And if you haven't subscribed again, please subscribe down below and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think and what you want. I mean, what you think about this whole video and the other videos that you've seen. And I will do my best to rectify whenever I can. So also don't forget to share it out, because sharing is caring. I had to use that line. What I mean to say is that if you find this content useful, kindly feel free to share it out and let other people see it as well. So until next time, take care of yourself,